I'd like to introduce myself, Lee Allen Jr. I went to Lincoln College Preparatory Academy, class of 2021. I'm now attending Prairie View A&M University as a junior. Also play baseball there, so claps to that.
All right.
Dr. Bean.
So, wow. My name is James McGee II. I'm a junior political science international studies double major on the pre-law track, and I attend the one and the only, the illustrious Morehouse College. I also attended the Lincoln College Preparatory Academy here in Kansas City, and I also graduated in class of 2021. I think, so we tell them who we are, like individually.
Okay.
But as a group, as a collective, as a duo, we've been knowing each other since we met in 7th grade at Lincoln when we were in orchestra class together. You know, we never played that instrument, but I did.
Never played the instrument.
He never played the instrument. But we met way back then. We've been rocking since 2015.
2015.
2015.
Coming up on 10.
Coming up on 10. We getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been nothing but love and support on both sides for the past 9 years.
Agreed, bro. We always holding each other down, keeping each other accountable, literally throughout anything, like any situation. Like,
yeah,
I know I could go to James when you come to me. You feel me?
Right, and you know we're literally a dynamic duo because partially why we grew so close was one because of our family dynamics and like the shift and changes in that, and how we were able to relate, but also because when I decided I didn't want to play sports, I was like, oh God, what am I gonna do? You know, that was a big part of me, or a big part of what people expect out of me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna change that to. That's a big part of what people expect out of a young black boy. And I remember sitting there having a conversation with Coach Lowe back when he was at Lincoln, and we were still in middle school. And I'm like, you know, I feel like everybody's making fun of me because I don't play a sport. And that was a really big deal for me. And as a kid, especially in middle school, you're very impressionable, and a lot of things can get to you very quickly. And I remember him telling me so distinctly in my face, and he said, "You not no player. You're not a coach. You're the owner." And from that point on, that's how I looked at my relationship with my friends who play sports. And I would say like it's definitely benefited me because it changed my mentality of being just a player or just someone that's part of something, but actually having some type of ownership and investment in it. And I would say even like I'm thinking back, like we doing this interview right now, which is kind of crazy because 6 years ago, Lee did his first interview. And I was sitting back in the back of the, you can't see me in the picture or nothing like that, but I'm sitting and I'm just like this.
That was my interview for Dream Series. I got selected to go to Arizona.
Yeah. So
that was pretty cool. No, I will agree, bro. Like, that's what kept me closer to you because you didn't do what all of us did in our friend group. Like, we all played sports and stuff, but you was always different. But you was also holding us to a higher standard, too. Because, like you were saying, like, we all looked at you as, like, the owner, like, the lawyer, like, the boss, you feel me? So.
Yeah, even to this day.
Even to this day. We always call James for anything.
We got, I mean, I would say I'm very proud of all my friends because at one point in time, like, my friends were the top athletes. Like, they was the sophomores and freshmen on the varsity teams, and there were seniors that weren't even getting play time. And, you know, that made me very proud because, you know, I always made a joke with my brothers when they first started playing sports. I don't go to JV games. Like my friends didn't play JV, so I wouldn't go to the JV games.
And it didn't matter what sport too, basketball, football,
soccer.
Baseball,
like you know, it was always a spectacle. They're always making districts. They're always making all state or breaking some type of record. And even now, as we've all transitioned in our life, I thank God every day for the friend group I have because, you know, that saying that iron sharpens iron is real. Like right now, we got a friend who's a nail tech, and she's about to start going across the country because she's really popular.
Shout out to her.
Big shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Oh, you want? Okay, so her at is Maya D Scientist, like D Stallion. She takes appointments. She's very friendly. She's amazing. She'll do custom designs and different things like that.
I call her the best nail tech in KC. So.
Shoot, I think she's one of the best in the Midwest.
Go get at her before she leave out of here.
Yeah, so she's about to embark on her first semi-national tour. She's gonna start hitting Atlanta, Houston, DC in the next couple of months, and she's gonna continue to grow her business. And I bring it up because like you have to surround yourself around people who also want to be successful.
Right.
And I was very fortunate that God gave me the foresight to be like, okay, these are people that I need to keep around me, and not just keep around them. Like, I think one thing I even learned at Morehouse is like in Kansas City, like people don't look you in your eyes when you walk in the street. That's a very dangerous thing to do because somebody don't think you might have the wrong intention by looking at them in the eyes. And at Morehouse, it's like they would make you be like, "Why don't you look at me in my eyes?
Yeah.
That's disrespectful." Or even like one of the professors hugged me. And it was a man. I'm like, dude, I don't know you like that. Don't be hugging me. But it's crazy because I think back to like when we was in high school, and to me, like my dad always showed me that there's nothing wrong to show affection to another man, and trying to be there for each other is okay. Right. Because sometimes women don't get what men have going on in their head. That's and real. So, you know, I pushed all my friends when we were in high school, be like, you know, tell me how you feel, and they'd be like, oh, you stop talking blah, blah. But then now, like every time we leave from each other, we say I love you, and that's important because you need to hear that. Like we grew up in a community where, right now, there's 3 people that was in my age group that are boys of me and my family, and I'm the only one that's not in the predicament. Meaning that I'm not in jail, right? Or you know the other thing, right. And so I think because of my friends and the people that I kept around me, and the fact that our parents encouraged us to stay around each other, and told us to resolve our problems when we did have different issues, because we've had a lot of issues. We got history as a friend group. But you know that's thick and thin. Yeah. And that's where we at now. Like we all still together. Like you know we all still running for each other no matter what. Like no matter what we going through, we all still there for each other. So we taking trips. Traveling across the country. We traveling now. Like we really like growing up now. We traveling. We just went to ATO for James' birthday. So yeah, we can do that now. So we going out the country sometime soon. We don't know when though, but soon. When loading. When the 9 of us busy schedules get 2025. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know one thing. I got a question for you. Oh, we're gonna start off with this. What's a challenge that you think you faced at Morehouse, and then how were you able to overcome that challenge? I'm gonna answer this by not just like answering it for Morehouse, because I think it's a problem I have overall in life, but I think it got exacerbated in Morehouse. I'm Mr. Do Everything. I've always been that kid that the adults in the room can rely on to leave. When they leave the room, that I'm going to make sure whatever's going on is going to continue to go on. Or like you said, always picking up the phone and just being there for everyone. And I think that my freshman and sophomore year, I was trying to do everything. Like I felt like everything was so important. That's the same thing in high school. And you know, I don't regret any accomplishments I made in high school or even early in college. But as I think about it, not even looking at the context or looking at it through even Mr. Chris's eyes, when I talk to him about Morehouse, like, you know, 20, 30 years gonna go by, you're gonna be like, oh, you know, did that really matter in the moment? Like, as important as it was, now look, even just reflecting back on high school and being like, all those things I did were to improve my life and other people's life, but also it might not be the most necessary thing. And I think it burned me out emotionally, physically, and mentally. And that really happened spring semester last year of my sophomore year, where I was just like, I'm going to be real, like where I was actually crying almost every day. Because I was just like, nobody's understanding, like nobody's talking to me, like nobody is there for me. Right. But I'm dishing all this out for the world. But who's there for me? Like a lot of people don't know. I almost didn't graduate from Lincoln. But I was student council president. So like think about that image of me up there on graduation day giving a speech, but I almost didn't graduate a week before. And even though it was like it wasn't just me that it happened to, because we both took the class. Right. With Holly. Put the name out there, but you know, that biology class was 16 year, but it was really like almost like a checkpoint in my life. So I would say like really just overextended myself, and that's why this year like I pulled back a lot. And looked at things that's gonna be more long term and not short term. Okay. I've seen that growth. That's not what you said in Atlanta. I say a lot of things, you feel me? But I mean, I think for me, really finding myself these couple past years, being in college. I mean, I started off at JUCO for baseball, and then
I was in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, at Ark City, Kansas, playing JUCO ball, coming from the inner city. So, I mean, I really didn't know what to expect out there, baseball wise, but I knew that was a challenge I was gonna have to, overtake and push through. So, I went through a lot of little down moments in JUCO when I was there, and then it led to me transferring to another JUCO, KCK, where I also went through challenges and stuff too, especially being like a black baseball player in today's time now and how hard that is, and that's a struggle. So it's just a very big challenge that I've had to overcome. But with me overcoming that challenge has also brought me new opportunities, as I was able to get a scholarship to Prairie View A&M University, and now I'm down there striving, like really striving. I'm doing what I've been doing since high school, since I was a kid. So now I'm able really to show like my true self with the same, people that look like me that surround me also. So we're like more of a family, being at Prairie View. So I've enjoyed that a lot.
That made me think about something. Like right before you went to Prairie View. I think that a lot of times when we look at these big organizations that we're part of, right, we'd be like, oh, they're not fallible, right? Like you can't be like, oh, they're wrong, or you can't step out of line, because if you do, you might mess up that opportunity. Right. And my question is, I'm your friend. I've been here pretty much majority of your, I'm gonna say at least semi-professional baseball career, right? Mm-hmm. How did you feel when you first read that article that got published?
I had very many different feelings about that article that got published. You're talking about the one this past summer, right?
Wait, I think, what was it, KCR or was it Kenzie or Kenzie Star?
KCUR. I had a lot of different opinions, but as shown in the article, I mean, I spoke my truth. And that's just how it is. I spoke my experience being down here and how hard it is for us African American baseball players in the city to really get opportunities to even go next level. So, I mean, I went through the struggle in high school, not being able to get recruited like I wanted to, and not having those eyes on me like I wanted to. But, I mean, I didn't let that affect me. I still kept doing what I had to do, working out on my own time, practicing, building connections with people that could help me, which when I did build those connections, they were also able to help me get to where I needed to. But yeah, I mean, that article just sheds light on the changes that need to be made down here in Kansas City. I mean, for all of the minority baseball players who are down here, especially the ones that are in the inner city. So yeah.
You reminded me of something else too. I know, like, it's the train of thought, right? So I remember in the fall of 2020 when we were seniors, but we were online. And I remember when the school district first came out and said, we're not going to have sports. Mm. They weren't going to allow sports because of the risk of catching COVID. Mm-hmm. Very valid reason. But for a school district like Kansas City Public Schools, where so many students rely on athletic scholarships mm-hmm. to be able to further their educational career, I remember having a phone call with a member of the Board of Education. I'm not going to say who, but I remember having a phone call with them and basically expressing why I felt like we should have sports. Mm-hmm. I don't play sports. I mean, it's cool to go see my friends play, but like, I had little interest. I already knew where I was going to school.
Right.
But at the same time, I understood that, and understanding that, I tried to express that to that board member, being like, this is important because this resource is also a different environment. Right. We have a friend that told me, like, literally, if it wasn't for basketball, he don't know where he would have been while he was in high school. Mm-hmm. So, putting that in context and applying that into that conversation, and even thinking about like the Royals and stuff like that, and how sometimes people don't think about how certain things that they think are small are really big to other people. And my question is, what would you tell maybe like a 10-year-old Lee, or what would you tell maybe a little black boy right now that might be playing baseball out in Cleveland?
I would definitely tell them, like, there's always gonna be challenges that you're gonna face. But when you hit those challenges, you can't give up. a lot of kids, a lot of baseball players experienced that, especially in inner city when COVID hit. COVID hit, we didn't have that spring season, which was my junior season. So we lost that. So a lot of kids weren't able to play baseball, so they just, put it down and quit. But that's a challenge, like, you have to be able to get through. And coming out of COVID really showed, like, the kids who really put the work in, stayed on that same path, and it showed the next year we was able and allowed to play. So, I mean, you always going to be faced with challenges, and that's just throughout life, like anything you do. You feel me? So, I would take that personally, too, because COVID was a big challenge for me. Baseball had always kind of been my sport, but I didn't really have, like, taken it serious as I should have my freshman, sophomore year, because I was still playing basketball and football also during those years. But when COVID hit and I lost that junior season, it really, like, clicked in my head, like, I need to start, like, taking it more serious. So using that time off, I was putting in work. I was reaching out to schools. I was really getting my name out there. And then senior year is when it started to pop off for me. So that's when I was able to start getting my scholarships and offers to, go next level.
So 3 characteristics I kind of pull from that is perseverance. Like, always pushing to get what you want. The second one I got is faith. So having faith in yourself that you'll be able to do what you want to do. And then the third one, which I'm linking on, was patience. It's patience. Those are really important characteristics just to have in life in general. But I think what I want to ask you is, what do you think, what life skills did you pull from baseball?
I mean, the biggest thing that I've pulled from baseball is being able to deal with failure. I mean, in baseball, you can be a Hall of Famer and fail 7 times out of 10 and still become a Hall of Famer. So in baseball, you're dealing with failure every day. But it's how you are able to deal with that failure is what separates, the great ones from the good ones. It separates yourself. So that has been able to help me out in certain situations when I failed. Like in school, if there's a class, like there's some assignments or something I'm failing in, but I'm not going to let that, bring me down and make that reflect on the rest of the grade for the rest of the semester. No, I'm going to study. I'm going to put in the work to get that grade back up to an A, to a B if I got to, you feel me? So failure has been like the biggest thing that baseball's, taught me. So.
I think more people need to learn how to fail.
And it's okay to fail.
Yeah, I think, Morehouse has a lot of sayings, a lot of life sayings. But I think my favorite one, or, it's not my favorite one, but it's one of my top ones, is walk with purpose. And, when you walk with purpose, sometimes you're going to trip and fall. Like, people going to see you fall. But at the end of the day, those same people that's laughing at you are going to be the same people that might ask you for something later on.
Right.
And so you have to learn how to be okay with your failures, because sometimes when you at the bottom, there's only, the top to go to. And I think that another thing that I learned that I don't like about, what they say about high school people, right, is you peak. But mountains don't stand alone. It's a mountain range. There's peaks and valleys, and there's rivers, and there's all types of features that go into it. Because you might peak at one point in life, but you might have a higher peak in another point. In high school, I thought like, dang, I'm doing all these things. A lot of people don't know. I'm learning how to brag on myself because my therapist told me to. So a lot of people don't know. I'm one of the youngest people in Missouri history to get concurrent resolutions from both state houses from my work that I did in high school. I was 17 years old when I got that. And I'm literally the only black person to get it on the same day at my age. There's a lot of people that's done it. But I was like, wow, this is a high moment for me. This is my peak. This is like, what can get better than this? Like meeting Obama? But then I do something like last month where I speak at the UN. And I'm the only African American student representing America in the North America.
Right.
So, there's peaks and valleys and rivers all over the place. Because just like I said the spring before, God put me through a hard time. God made me humble myself. He made me sit down and made me really actually look at what life is. What am I doing? Like, what is my purpose? What am I doing here? You know, because college is not for the weak, and Morehouse is definitely not for the weak. So
Right there.
you can't just go there without a purpose, without intent.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that purpose, you're gonna fail in that purpose, and you're gonna have to realize that it's a different purpose that you actually came there for.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think that's a really important life lesson is learning how to fail, because when you fail, you can fail. Some people fail 9 times, and it's that 10th time they hit the $1 billion mark. You know, there's plenty of people, there's plenty of CEOs out there that'll tell you right now that they've started 15 different companies. They've had, you know, several different opportunities, and they've messed them up. I mean, I know I've messed up a lot, and I'm okay with sharing that, because I know that me saying that is going to help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just personal. Like, it's okay to mess up sometimes.
Right.
But when you mess up, learn how to use your network to help you become better. I mean, you know, like I said, I messed up in high school a lot. I almost didn't get into Morehouse. It took Mr. Chris making some calls to like really get me over that hump. But now, like, literally, it's crazy because I got into Morehouse and then I became a freshman spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, sometimes you have to ask the people around you for help to get up.
Because you can't do it all by yourself.
You can't.
You can't.
You know, there's a reason why God put two of each animals on that ark. Because you can't walk through life by yourself. And sometimes you walking down the road and you might be holding hands with 10 people, and you look around and now you only got 2. You might look around and you're the only one. Some might come back, some might never come back.
That's real, bro. All right, so I got a question for you. What's some advice you would give to your younger self with everything that you know now?
Dude, chill out. Literally, that's what the advice I'll give. I'll be like, chill out. Stop trying to run around. Stop trying to spread your energy. You don't have to study, but do your homework.
Do your homework.
Do your homework, at least. And I will also say, you ain't got to be gone somewhere every 5 minutes. Because, you know, like, there's a point where I was flying out almost every week out of Atlanta. Like, there was a TSA agent that knew my name. That means I'm flying too much. That means I'm flying way too much. Yeah, and it's like, you gotta chill out. Because, you know, my mom used to tell me this all the time, and I used to think, she used to irritate me, but as I get older now, I'm starting to realize her nuggets of wisdom is why she's, like, it helps with my life. She used to be like, this is also part of what my therapist is saying, like, slow down, smell the roses, pick them up, enjoy them, look at the color, look at, like, everything around you, because, you know, 1 minute you're running fast, you're building all this, but what are you building for? Like, one thing people always ask me is like, do you want to be rich? And I'll be like, I don't mind, I don't have an aspiration to be rich, but I want to be happy. And whatever my happiness looks like at that point in my life, I'm hoping that's what it looks like. For me, if I have a good little 5-bedroom house, I'm married with a couple kids, got 2 cars outside, and I can hop on a plane when I want to, that's my happiness, that's my heaven. But I know because of my ambition, I might come up on financial wealth. But wealth to me does not look like money. It don't look like, you know, cars. It don't look like what we are taught to think wealth looks like. Wealth looks like me and my community being good. Wealth looks like me going to being able to go buy maybe like 4 or 5 blocks on Prospect and providing affordable housing for people.
Right.
And even though I might not make money off of it, I know somebody is going to be able to feel safe because they have a home. Wealth looks like, to me, taking time out of my schedule to, like, call y'all and be like, you know, how you doing? Like, you know, and making sure all my friends are trying to hit their benchmarks too, because, you know, I hate the saying that it's lonely at the top. You don't have to be alone.
Right.
You bring people up with you. And I think I had to kind of get out of Kansas City to realize that, because I think a lot of times in Kansas City, we become so complacent where we at. We want a title. We want, I make $100,000. Why are you okay with making just $100,000? Because after taxes, it's only like 70. So, you know, like, being uncomfortable with complacency, but looking for the joy in how to, like, enjoy what's around you.
Right.
I don't think you want to go tab for tab with me on that one.
You sure?
What's y'all homecoming like?
I ain't gonna lie, homecoming was crazy. That was my first homecoming at HBCU, so
Which I think like 12,000 people maybe.
I think
20?
it was around like 12. Like 12, 15.
We almost 50.
All right, bro. You can flex. You can flex. You in Atlanta, bro. We in the country.
It's not about Atlanta because it's more than just Atlanta people
more,
there.
It's Morehouse, Spelman, Clark. I mean,
No.
Y'all got everybody.
It's
over there.
Morehouse
Y'all got
Spelman.
3 schools.
It's Morehouse and Spellman. It's Spellhouse.
Spellhouse.
You know, at our homecoming we have Victoria Monet perform on the actual like tailgate day. You know, and then the year before that we had Jerkin 21, and then we also had Lil Baby.
All right, bro. You can't. All right. You try to flex. All right,
I mean,
bro.
you know.
I get it.
When you have
Spellhouse,
people like Metro Boomin that went to your school,
right,
like, you know, things gonna pop off a little bit. You know, you might walk down the street, you might see Dirk one day. And I'm being so serious.
I hear you, bro. You can't flex that though. It's not fair.
No.
Spellhouse compared to PV, bro. Like you cannot. You can't flex that.
You tell me that y'all can get like Bun B or like what's another Houston rapper? What's the white Paul Wall? Like you can't get them.
Ain't nobody listening.
Because you know that's the music you listen to anyway.
I do, but not everybody. Not everybody listen to that. They listen to all the. New
That's
stuff
upsetting.
today. You feel me?
Like, what is your favorite like mid 2000s like Houston rapper?
Houston rapper?
Yeah, because I got mine in my head. Because you know Houston, Atlanta was running that era, and New Orleans. The South was running rap back then.
They was running rap back then.
Because you know you got T.I. in Atlanta, you got Babyface, Birdman, and Lil Wayne out in New Orleans. Then you got Bun B, Paul Wall, Slim. Is it Slim Thug? Is his name?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, and then you got, and of course, like Nelly not from the South, but like Missouri's like
Missouri.
it's South adjacent. So like you got Country Grammar coming out, being an album of the year, like. So maybe we should broaden it, not Houston, but like 2,000 rappers.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I mess with T.I. I'm a big T.I. fan.
T.I. I think mine's going to be Kanye.
I mean,
I miss old Kanye.
Yeah, old Kanye.
Cause I'm sorry.
Not the new Kanye.
No. Maybe gospel Kanye. I like gospel Kanye. Gospel Kanye cool.
Gospel Kanye.
But you know, going back on topic with campus and social life, like, what do you? This is your first year at PV, so how do I phrase this question? What are you looking forward to in spring semester? And you cannot say Spring Fest.
I mean,
I
really can't say nothing for real because like it's baseball season, so I'm locked in on baseball, bro.
I've been your friend for a long time. That don't stop you from
locked in on baseball, bro. Putting in work 24/7 every day.
I want y'all to know.
No days off.
He's been locked on baseball for 9 years. So
bro, we started February 16th. We don't end till like the last week in May. So I have no free time.
Might be your birthday. You know what we say like your birthday.
I can't do nothing. We got games. It's locked in. We trying to win Swag T.
Anyways,
which we gonna win Swag T this year.
So I'm gonna skip from you. What I'm looking forward to is Founders Day week for us. It's not really like a Spring Fest or like a party type vibe because we have Hump, which is like every week there's like a block party. You know,
so it's like a Hump Day thing because we kind of did that thing on Wednesday.
Yeah, so I used to go when I was a freshman and sophomore, but then that was when I was out in the streets. So I had to get in my books. I had to get in my books. So now I don't go as often, but that's really when you be seeing like when you be on like what's that thing called like HBCU Connect or like them different social media pages, and you be seeing like Morehouse doing like swag surfing. It's like a random day. That's what Hump is. That's cool. I enjoy like stuff like that, but I don't go as often. But I would say like Founders Week is definitely like my favorite time of the year at Morehouse because that's the time where like you can walk down the street and get $200 to see an alum, or you like everybody's dressed up like everybody. It's a time where everybody is taking themselves a little more serious because our Founders Day is on Valentine's Day. Morehouse is certified lover boys.
All right, bro.
We are certified lover boys. Founded in the basement of a church on February 14th, 1867. Been rocking ever since then. But during that time, like especially on Founders Day itself, we wear suits. Like if you don't wear suits, almost like everybody looking at you like you crazy. And then we have convocation, which is my favorite Crown Forum. Crown Forum is like this weekly gathering that we have to do, and you learn a lot of different stuff from it. But this specific Crown Forum convocation is a very powerful feeling. They usually get a very powerful speaker to come in and basically say this is what the next year of Morehouse is about to look like. This is what we need to do, and you can feel it in your soul. And so when you sit there and then you get up. Because usually people be skipping Crown Forum, but during this time, most people go. And when you hear Daryl Morehouse sing, like everybody sing Daryl Morehouse, it's like one of the most heavily sounds you will ever hear. And typically, I love my school to death, but we sing it too much. But in that moment, it's like something connects in your head, and you remember, oh, this is why I'm here. Mm-hmm. But Spring Fest is always cool too, because it's we
I'm gonna miss out on Spring Fest this year, but
I'm not.
Homecoming was
I'm
fun.
21 this year.
Homecoming was fun.
We having a Rock Nation brunch.
All right, bro.
But yeah, so I think campus social life at Morehouse is it's very fluid though. Mm-hmm. It could be you could be in the business association, you could be in SGA, you could be in the chapel assistants, which is like for our seminary students. Mm-hmm. You could be doing a lot of different things, and that's the thing I love about Morehouse is because you're gonna meet every kind of African American man.
Right.
And that's really the beauty of it. And then when you have passionate professors and faculty and staff who went there or went to Clark or went to Spelman or went to Howard but went to an HBCU, they have this different type of passion about what they're teaching you. Mm-hmm. And it's really like something I can't even put into full words.
No, I understand, because when I got to PV, like, that definitely shocked me, just coming from JUCO and junior college and where I've been at in Kansas. Like, that representation, I had never seen that before. And now I'm in classes where everybody's African Americans. Like, all my professors are African American. Like, I just connect with them in a different way. So, I mean, that definitely, I'm not gonna lie, that definitely pushed me to really find myself out more this past semester, especially when it came to school. Like, I was more engaged with my classes and all that, getting assignments done. Like, I mean, I ended with a 4.0. I'm flexing, but
you better than me.
I ended with a 4.0, one of the few, very few, on the our athletic teams. So, I think just having that representation. I mean, we had it a little bit back at Lincoln. But I was disconnected from that for 2 years. Being able to go back to that definitely helped me out a lot. So
this is about to be so off topic. Well, you made me think about something with Lincoln. Lincoln is so different now.
That's what I heard.
I wish I went to Lincoln now, because Lincoln now looks like a great time. Mm-hmm. When Miss Chanel's doing up in there, like even the class, I was talking to your sister and she was telling me they got a business, like law business class or something like that. I said, you got to wait? I'm like, bro, we barely had math classes. Mm-hmm. You talking about you have a business law class? Like, that's crazy to me.
And then what they did for your brother?
Which one?
Jaden.
Oh, I'm about to say I got some pretty accomplished brothers. So you got to tell
what they did with Jaden.
The books with barbers,
barbers
with books or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm very proud of him for that actually. Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me they had kind of made it into more like a an actual barbershop.
Yeah.
In the school.
Right.
That's what they was pushing for a lot. So I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. Being able to cut the students' hairs and all that.
Yeah. Speaking of books, going back to school for us personally, what do you think the benefits of you going to a JUCO was?
Financially, it's cheap, but also it was just more for baseball. Like, I was only just focused on baseball. And the thing is with JUCO and baseball is like, you can go JUCO and get drafted out of your first year, whereas if you go to like a university, you have to wait, till your junior year till you draft eligible. So you got to wait 3 years automatically. So going to JUCO just gave me more options. You feel me? The first JUCO I went to is a top 5 JUCO in the nation. So of course I was there with guys that got drafted. I think I got from that team. We probably had like 4 guys right now in the league right now, and probably like 10, 12 others are all playing at D1, Division I baseball. So I was around like a lot of talent. It just wasn't the right fit for me. But JUCO financially a lot cheaper. And then I will say I grew a lot as a baseball player, but JUCO also helped me understand that baseball isn't all me. You feel me? So when I was going through my rough time at JUCO, I was like, is baseball really like something I want to do? I was really contemplating, like, do I want to keep playing baseball? Do I want to stop? Like, and just start focusing on my career? Because it took me there. You feel me? That's when I hit rock bottom. But I really had to start figuring out for myself that baseball doesn't define me. You feel me? So, and that's why I'm here now at Prairie View. And I mean, I've been doing great. I had a good fall, and I'm looking to start this spring. So it's only up from here now.
So with going to a JUCO, right? What adversities do you think that you had to face at that JUCO, especially the one like the one in Arkansas City? What adversities do you think that you faced there that you think will prepare you to face if and when you go to the MLB?
Let's see. I think the biggest thing would be more of the representation side of it. So I was only 1 out of 3 black players out of probably 40 on that team. We had some country coaches. But I think the biggest thing is like the coaches gave me so much problems that I could have just shut down and, just said, skip this and just left. You feel me? And just been done with it. But being able to, keep my moral up, keep my mentality up, and just take in what they're giving me, but then also, applying it in different ways that I can understand it too. Because you're not going to connect, you're not going to click with everybody like that. There's always going to be somebody that's really hard on you, really tough on you, and you just cannot shut down and run away from that, you feel me? That's a lesson you just learn in life. So
do you think that by you going to that school first, Cali, that's what it's called, Cali. If you think by going to Cali first that it prepared you more than your teammates at Prairie View?
It definitely did. It actually prepared me a lot because now at PV, I'm dealing with freshmen who are all coming in from high school and they just all got these high school mentalities. Or I got other teammates who just complain about like the littlest stuff. You feel me? But it's like, bro, I done went through. I done went through the ringer in JUCO. Like they don't know what we did. Like we do little conditioning at PV, bro. We was like getting killed in JUCO every day. So it's like I just have a different mentality about it now. They're like, why you don't ever be tripping, bro? Because like y'all have not done the worst stuff that I've done. You feel me? So it definitely prepared me a lot mentality wise. I have a way different mentality now on the baseball field. So
we graduate next year.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
time really flying by fast.
It flies fast.
Jaden, and that's the thing because I got my haircut from Jaden last night. He was like, "Yeah, we graduated from Lincoln in May." I was like, "Oh, that's what's up." He was like, "Yeah, you and James finna be graduating next year." I was like, "Bro."
Yeah, that
I was like, do not say. He was like, y'all old. I was like, come on now, Jaden, do not do that, bro. Because when you think about it, like time really is like went by fast. Like it's really flew.
And even my concept of old has changed. Cause I used to think like 40 is old. Now I think like AARP cards old, 65 years old. Like when you get old like that, because I be thinking about it like I used to think like 40 old like when I was a young kid. But now I look at my mom, I'm like, dang, she kind of going. Like she not old, she young still. But this is a question for both of us. So I know I'm asking, but like we can both answer it. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself playing in the MLB. You feel me? Repping KC, putting on, and then giving back to the community. But also, I know that if that doesn't work, I see myself getting into the business field. I'm majoring in kinesiology with a concentration on sports management. So I definitely want to get into the sports field and all that and make some changes because being at the academy has really opened my eyes to like the business side of the sports world and the politics that goes into it. So I really want to dive into that and ultimately make changes. Definitely make changes to the community we have here in KC, and then also be able to give representation to those, other African American kids who are also wanting to have dreams in baseball too. So
That's real.
mm-hmm.
No, like wife, possibly nothing like that.
Nah, I'm focused. I'm focused, man. I'm locked in. We not ready for a wife right now.
That's how it happens.
We say that.
In 5 years, I hope. No, I know that by the time I'm gonna go with 20 because I just turned 21. So by the time I'm 25, I would have been out of college for 3 years, and I will have traveled to every continent in the world. I want to hit every continent. I want to already have my first purchase house. I want to, I'm very indifferent about what I'm going to do when I graduate from college right now because it was always just law school. But it shifted because I've had different opportunities. I've done different things now. I've been in college to have experienced some of the beautiful things. Mm-hmm. So, like, I have an option to go to France for a year to get my master's. After I graduated, I'm like, before I didn't want to leave America for too long because
I know
words pop off very often.
I know a little French. Je m'appelle Lee. I know a little bit. Puis j'allais à la toilette. You didn't know about that one.
You know what that remind me of? Remember we was in Spain and we go to the counter at your house.
We went to Spain for orchestra back in freshman year high school.
Freshman year. But it reminded me because I was still learning Spanish at the time. Yeah. And they were like, I went down there, I said, necesito un toilet. And that man said, I speak English. I said, my bad. I'm like, but I do see myself like, being successful at that point in my life. I do think success looks different at every point in life. I feel like right now, I'm alive, I'm happy, I'm well, my family's good, I'm successful. I hope my success looks like by then that I will have a house, like I said, travel to every continent, and I will hope that I'm doing a job that I love. I don't want to do a job I don't love.
That's what
I can go be working at McDonald's and flipping burgers and be happy if that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Because, this $200,000 education don't mean nothing if I'm not happy. Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to be with my life in 5 years.
You went really in depth with that.
Yeah.
I did not go there in depth.
Well, when people ask me questions, you're supposed to go in depth with it. Like, be serious. Like,
Nah, I feel you.
I won't be back in Kansas City. Yeah, I know that.
You want to be back where?
I won't be back in Kansas City. My goal is to not come back to Kansas City until I'm at least 40.
Tell them.
Like, I want to be established in my career.
Tell them. So what's some words of advice you got for kids in KC?
In KC?
Mm-hmm. In Kansas City. As we've already...
I'm trying to think, because Kansas City feels so much different now. So, what I would tell kids in Kansas City is to be understanding of one another. You don't have to always resort to violence. You can talk things out, you can figure out, or you can just walk away. There's nothing wrong with walking right. Sometimes it takes more strength to walk away than to sit there and stand. I will also tell them that you are not your situation. Like, you are not something that you're involved in. Like, I just read a study earlier that there's at 3 years old, there are kids who read at a 500. They know how to say 500 words. Mm-hmm. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not. But there's kids who have parents that are professionals. Like, fortunately, we were two of those kids. Mm-hmm. Where these kids know 1,100 words coming into kindergarten. So realizing that you are not your situation and that the environment that you grew up in is not who you are. And the true testament to that is my mother to me. Because she grew up in an environment where, like, she could have went a different way. But instead, she said, no, I'm going to work hard, put myself through school, and expect nothing but the best for my kids. So realizing that you are more than what that moment is. That's my biggest piece of advice.
That's real. I mean, I would also say for kids in KC, like, we got a lot of resources around, and they need to use those resources. Mm-hmm. I feel like some people just get so isolated in KC when there's really just more out there to like that's in KC that they can use, but there's also like a lot of more opportunities out there other than KC. So I mean, especially in like the sports world, like there's just a lot of kids. I see it on a daily basis. There's just a lot of kids who complain about they don't got this or that in KC, but it's like there's so many other places you can go to, like baseball wise. There's so many facilities you can go to. There's so many people around here you can ask for help or, just
Advocate
ask for
for
that.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I even thought about like, because I was going on this train of thought, like, especially for younger kids, Lincoln is not the end all be all.
Exactly.
You don't have to go to Lincoln to be successful. You should demand that whatever school you go to, that they're giving you a proper education.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing that, Lincoln, yeah, it got good test scores. It's a good environment. But at the end of the day, if you want a better environment, push those around you to be better.
Exactly.
Because, I think that everyone's like, oh, Lincoln is all, like everybody gotta go there. Everybody gotta go there because, it's a good school. But Lincoln's not a good school. It's just a school full of kids that want to do better for themselves.
Exactly.
And not saying that those other kids don't want to do better for themselves, but you have to ask those people who are, no, don't even ask, demand that those people who are in charge of your education do better for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really important.
That's real, bro. Well, we're going to here and wrap this up. I know y'all enjoyed us talking. Let you
Thank you for listening.
I want to thank my parents. I want to thank everybody, who had my back as I've been throughout middle school, high school, and now in college. I just like to thank all of them.
I didn't know we was doing Grammy speeches.
Oh, yeah. I got to prepare for my Grammy speech.
I want to say, thank you to my network, to my village, to those out there that have not only supported me, but invested in me. Like, I always call my family my biggest investors. Like my board of directors, because, those are the people who guide my life amongst God. And, also, I just want to tell you, be great. Be yourself.
Be yourself. That's number one right there. Be yourself.
Magic after dark.